Hi, welcome to Copenhagen. If you're watching the replay, thanks for dropping in. So I'm working on the last of the hoverfly, which I have been working on for quite a while. It is an 80 by 75 and it has 8 to 9 colours. So plenty of confetti in this one. And by confetti, I mean the colours are scattered all over the place. You get very few sections of the same colour, so you're constantly changing colours. Hi Hazel, thanks for dropping in. Good morning. And it actually is morning in Copenhagen. Normally I'm on a bit later than this, but decided to come on. These are the last two sections of the hoverfly. So you saw the video that I did yesterday, Hazel. That's the next one that I'm going to be doing. The entrance to Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen, second oldest amusement park in the world, and it was set up for their Halloween display when I took that picture. So they have events at Halloween, Christmas, Easter, and I think that's it. So at Halloween they have, I think it's about 10,000 pumpkins in the place, and they build a little village of creepy houses and things. Yeah, these are customs. These are like my own designs, taken from pictures that I took myself. So this one was a hoverfly that I took a picture of in the Botanical Gardens in Copenhagen. I was actually just taking a picture of the flower, and just as I went to take the picture, a hoverfly landed in the middle of the flower. Hi Gertie, good morning. Thanks for dropping in. So yeah, I took that picture and I got the hoverfly in it. This was a few years ago, and then I was sitting looking at pictures. I have a lot of pictures that I've taken around Copenhagen, and I had an idea of doing some customs. And I saw the hoverfly, and I thought, yeah, I think that would work. So I tweaked it. I didn't want just a picture. I wanted something that looked more like artwork, and messed about with it for a while. Came up with the design that I've got, sent it to Smith's Beads in the UK, and Mike sort of helped me choose the size because I didn't want to lose any detail, so I couldn't really have it too small. So he sent me some mock-ups and we went for the 80 by 75, which has turned out really, really nice. I wasn't really that sure what it was going to look like. There's a big difference between looking at mock-ups and actually looking at the finished piece. So I'm very, very pleased with the hoverfly. It's my favourite custom so far. So 2 sections to go, and then I'll start prepping for the Halloween one. 90 colours, so that's going to take a bit of time. And it's it's 60 by 80. So all I'm doing here is looking through all this confetti for the F symbols. And this is why a lot of people don't like confetti. You need the patience of a saint. I know that I'm going to miss some, it's just always like that. But I think that's most of them. So we'll see how much I get done today. I would like to get it finished tomorrow. I keep extending the time because I start doing other things. Like I decided to do that video yesterday, showing how I prepare double-sided adhesive canvases before I actually start working them. I thought some people might find that quite useful, and I also showed how I set up the release paper and why I use release paper. So that's the first sort of long video that I've done for quite a while. The first sort of, what would I call it, educational, rather than just an unboxing. Unboxings are good, but I prefer to actually do something a bit different. So I don't think I'm going to have many more unboxings. I've put a stopper on buying stuff. Hi Grace, working and listening, getting paid to listen to me. Couldn't get any better. Hi Marlon. Yeah, I'm a lot earlier. 4:45. What are you doing? I didn't give you a chance to. Well, I've actually just poured the coffee, so this is probably my 5th coffee of the day. But it is 10:49 a.m. Yeah, double-sided adhesive, Hazel. A lot of people avoid it like the plague because of the problems that you can have with the air bubbles. But if you look through my videos, there is one called something like Unboxing a Diamond Painting from Wish. If you have a look at that, that was a really, really bad one. And it was the first one that I had like that. So, as I said in the video yesterday, a lot of people advised me to throw it in the bin. But I decided I was going to try and fix it and just see how it turned out. And it actually turned out perfect. I was very surprised, but it gave me more confidence in taking a knife to the canvas. So ever since then, I don't really care whether it's poured glue or double-sided adhesive. I'm more interested in the picture. If I like the picture, I'll get it. And if it's double-sided adhesive, I just check it for air bubbles and slice them. And so far, it's always worked. So it isn't as bad as people think. But some people just don't know, and they do the diamond painting. They press the drills down over the bubbles, and when you do it, it looks as if it's flattened, but the air is still trapped underneath the glue. So eventually it will pop back up, and when you've finished it and you look at it, you'll start to see lines where the drills are slightly higher than all the rest around them, and they look like lines. And it is really annoying when you've spent hours and hours and hours on a diamond painting, and then you see this flaw in it. So the best advice that I can give is get a really sharp craft knife and slice all the bubbles before you start. It makes things a lot easier. Okay, next one. Number 39. So how is everybody? Anybody got any newsworthy stuff? Anything good happen to anybody since I last spoke to you? Anything exciting coming up? Something has happened to me. Some people who have been talking to me for quite a bit of time will know that I had problems with my foot, and Grace just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Grace. Happy belated birthday, I should say. Yeah, I was having problems with my right foot, and I think how many times, I can't remember how many times I was at hospital and getting blood tests. Anyway, it looked as if it had went away, and I stopped taking the medication, and it's flared up again. So I'm back to can't wear a shoe, hobbling about, and I've got another appointment at the hospital on the 9th, another blood test on the 7th. So here we go again. Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder about this because it dragged on for, I think, maybe 2 months last time. And roughly 10 days after I stopped taking the medication, it's flared up again. And it's worse today than it was yesterday. And I don't have an appointment until the 9th. But I still have medication that I had before. So they've told me to take that as I was taking it before. And they want to do a blood test, and then they'll have a look at it and decide what they're going to do this time. Yeah, it's getting really irritating, Marlon. I mean, I'm back again to the situation where I can't wear any shoe or anything on my foot. I can't drive or anything. So it is very frustrating. Okay, when I go quiet, it's because I'm looking at symbols. I'm a guy, I can't multitask. Well, the other news is I don't know who saw the cheeky panda, but I got the frame this morning. So the cheeky panda is now framed. Thanks, Grace. So there's a cheeky panda in his or her frame. I'm not sure which gender it is. So in future videos, this will be sitting on the shelf behind me. I tried putting it on my wife's work desk, but she wasn't very impressed, so I was told to remove it. What time is it where everybody is? And why are people up so early? Or is it so late? I don't know if people are getting up really early or if people are staying up all night. Yeah, shorts are getting lots of views. I was quite surprised. I decided to use the shorts just to show completed diamond paintings. 15 seconds, so it doesn't take. I thought about doing videos showing completed diamond paintings, and then I thought, how long can I spend talking about a diamond painting that's finished? So I thought maybe shorts would be a good idea. 15 seconds, a little bit of music. I try and tie the music in with the picture, and it's done. 6:55 p.m. So you are in the future. So where are you, Grace? Australia? Forgot what I'm doing now. 39. That's what I get for talking. $3:55 a.m. and you stayed up all night diamond painting. So I'm hoping to get this finished by the end of tomorrow. Australia, yeah. Once I get it finished, I think I'm going to do another video showing how I prep up my drills for 90 colours. So I think that might be my next full-length video. And I think I've done shots on all of the diamond paintings that have been done. I'm just looking around and thinking, have I done all these? I think so. So there'll be a shot will appear of the hoverfly, and then it's going to be a long time before you see another shot, unless I start to add in other ideas. I've always got ideas, but I've got quite a few ideas of things that I want to do that are a bit different and more on the educational side, would you call it? More to do with actually doing diamond paintings and tips and hints and things. I think those are the things that people are really interested in rather than just another diamond painting being unboxed. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Just when I thought I had done them, spied another two. Lost it. Yeah. So you're up early, Marlon. You thought it was 5 a.m., turned out to be 4 a.m. That's an extra hour to your day. Okay, I have a random question for people. Do you still live in the country that you were born in? And if not, which country were you born in and where do you live now? I was born in Scotland and I now live in Denmark. Born in the USA. They should write a song about that. And still live here. So do you still live in the same sort of area, like the same state, or have you moved? Born in Australia, dreams to move to the US. Same state. Yeah, I mean, I lived in Scotland since I was born, and then I moved here 2012. I've never lived in any other country, just Scotland, then Denmark, which was quite a culture shock moving to Denmark. It's very different from the UK, but I definitely prefer Denmark. Why do I prefer Denmark? The culture is very different. It's a lot more laid back. People in general are more relaxed, I would say. I noticed a big difference in the work environment. When I started working in Denmark, I was really keen to learn the job. So I didn't take any days off. And one day my boss called me into the office and said, I noticed you haven't taken any vacation. And I said, yeah, I said, I'm still like learning. And at that time I was distribution manager, and I was changing a lot of things in the system to improve it, and was just really involved in it. So I just didn't take days off. So he basically told me to take 2 weeks. They are, in general, very conscious of the work and family lives, and making sure that both work together. They don't like to see people working too much without taking breaks. That was totally alien to me. When I worked in Scotland, I could have worked every day of the year. My bosses would have been delighted. Just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. A lot of things are just more relaxed. I think the fact that I live in Copenhagen has a lot to do with it as well. It's a really, really nice city. There's a lot to see, a lot to learn about the history, a lot of really cool architecture. And I used to do live streams walking around Copenhagen and just letting people see the city, answering questions and talking about stuff. Hazel has always wanted to go to Ireland. If you do, take an umbrella. I've never actually been to Ireland, and it's just across the Irish Sea from Scotland. Just never really had any inclination to go. Never really expected to be living in Denmark. If somebody had said to me years ago, if you had to choose a different country to live in, I don't think I would even think about Denmark. Yeah, it's there's just different things that I see, and I think wouldn't happen in Scotland. Like if you go outside Copenhagen, if you go for a drive and you go through some of the smaller villages, you'll see like stalls at the side of the road, and they've got like homemade jam and vegetables and potatoes and strawberries, like just set up. And they've got like a bucket, and they've got a note saying how much things are, and people just stop and buy what they want and put money in the bucket and just leave it at the side of the road. That wouldn't happen in Scotland. You would come back, there'd be no stand, there'd be no money, there'd be no vegetables, there'd be no jam. So people are definitely more trusting. The laws on alcohol are very different. You can legally buy beer at 16, and you can legally walk down the street drinking a beer, and nobody bats an eyelid. It's very common during the summertime to see people carrying 6 packs or 24 packs of beer and going to a park with friends and just sitting, having a few beers and relaxing, playing games and stuff. In Scotland, I think most places you're not allowed to drink in parks, because the tendency in Scotland is if young guys drink too much alcohol, they start to get aggressive and they want to fight. In Denmark, they just get drunk and somebody helps them home. So even that is different. Copenhagen, you will see girls cycling home at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, cycling alone, and they feel quite safe. Not something that you would see in Glasgow or Edinburgh. They stole my catalytic converter from my vehicle. Wow. I've only been to America once, and I went to Vegas. I actually went to Canada for a month, and I got talked into going to Vegas for a week. So I went to Vegas, and I went and saw the Grand Canyon, the Hoover Dam. Didn't gamble in Vegas at all, but it was cool to see, but I wouldn't go back. Not really somewhere that appeals to me. The Grand Canyon is the most impressive thing I have seen in my life. That was just amazing to look over the Grand Canyon. Definitely worth it just for that. But Canada was really nice. I went to Calgary, Banff, Red Deer, Edmonton. I can't remember where else. But really, really nice country. I'm just double checking because when I talk, I lose concentration on what I'm doing. So I was just making sure that I was doing the right symbol, and there was. Okay. Yeah, I went to Vegas. Like I said, I was not planning to go. I just got talked into it because they said, "Well, since you're over, you should go to Vegas. The flights are really cheap and the hotels are really cheap." So I did it. I'm glad I went. Like I said, the Grand Canyon was definitely worth seeing. As far as Vegas itself, it was extremely hot. I decided to go to Vegas in August, which wasn't the best time of year to go when you're from Scotland and not used to the heat. But I just made sure that I stayed in the hotels and went hotel jumping. Just it's an unbelievable place. The fact it's in the middle of a desert, and then they had a zoo inside the hotel, and it's crazy. So Marlon was born in the US, lived in various states, came back to the state I was born, which is Florida. Yeah, crazy people in Florida. Marlon's there. So what was your favourite state, Marlon, apart from Florida? Like, where did you live and thought it was a nice place to live? Hi, Carly. How's the boss? I'm surprised there are so many chatty people on at this time. The thing about doing these whipping chats is sometimes you come on and nobody talks, and you can see like 9 people are there, but nobody talks. It's kind of weird. It's like sitting in a dentist's waiting room and everybody looking at you. Texas, really? Tammy doesn't miss Texas. Too hot and too many spiders and scorpions and snakes. So what is so good about Texas? Tammy's brother lives in Texas. In fact, maybe both her brothers. I can't remember now. And I think her sister is in Ohio. Hi, Happy Trekker from Australia. Thanks for dropping in. Welcome to Copenhagen. We have someone else in from Australia. Or we did. So have you always lived in Australia, Happy Trekker? We're talking about people who have moved to different countries. I was originally born in Scotland and lived there until 2012, and then moved to Denmark. And I was just curious to if any other people had moved to a different country. When I do these lives, I'm open to talk about pretty much everything. We can talk about diamond painting if people want to, but I'm quite happy to do just random subjects. That makes it more interesting for me because then I have no idea what we're going to talk about. You've never been anywhere else. My uncle actually moved from Scotland. He lives in Australia now. Can't remember where. He likes it a lot. I don't think I would like the heat. Denmark is similar in ways to Scotland, weather-wise, like seasons and things. It gets warmer in the summer, and it used to get colder in the wintertime, but the winters are definitely warmer than they used to be. Yeah, I don't really keep in touch with them. I moved to Denmark, and maybe a couple of years after that, he moved to Australia with his girlfriend. She is Australian, and they moved back to Australia, and they run a dog grooming company. Yeah, Texas is big, and Denmark is tiny, absolutely tiny country. Population of the whole country is about 6 million, which is 2 million less than the population of London. And I live on Zealand, which is an island, and that's where Copenhagen is. Even though it's the capital city of Denmark, it isn't on mainland Denmark. So the Queen lives here on this island. And people on mainland call it Devil's Island. I don't know why. Belgium is smaller than Denmark, even more people. Yeah, I mean, a lot of mainland, like Jutland, that's the part that sticks up from Germany. Um, a lot of that is agricultural and not very, not very densely populated at all. A lot of it is pig farms. In Denmark, talking about lockdown, we basically don't have any lockdown now. Up until recently, we still had to wear masks if we were on public transport, but they've even lifted that now. The pubs and clubs and restaurants are open again. and there are still restrictions in venues where there would be a lot of people, like music concerts and stuff. I don't know exactly what the regulations are, but things have relaxed a lot. Our rates are going up, the daily infections. Well, I'm saying they're going up. They're normally around 800 new cases a day, roughly. But very, very few people are being admitted to hospital, and very, very few people are dying because I don't know what the percentage is now. I think it must be getting close to 70% of the population have been vaccinated. So now they're basically expecting people to get it, but they're not expecting people to get really ill. So that's why they're lifting the restrictions. Oh, your nephew's in the hospital. Sorry to hear that. So is that the Delta variant that everybody's talking about? Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of things now about people who are catching the Delta variant. I saw a guy who had actually caught COVID last year and thought because he'd had it, he didn't need to get the vaccine, and he caught it again, and he's now in a wheelchair. I'm not sure what age they're down to now with vaccinations in Denmark. Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, it attacks a lot of different things. Even though people like recover, a lot of people don't really fully recover. I mean, I've heard that it can affect your lungs. It can cause scar tissues in your lungs, which affects your breathing for the rest of your life. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's a horrible disease or virus. I think the fact that it keeps mutating is the worrying thing, because I mean, it could mutate to the point where the vaccines just don't work at all. But we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, the thing with Australia, I mean, that was surprising as well, because it looked as if Australia had basically beaten it, and then suddenly it just kicked off. Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, we've got a concert coming up. In fact, it's this month, but I don't think we're going to go because we're still wary about being in large crowds of people. Our huge trauma hospital is beyond capacity with new cases. Was number one in the country for new cases just a few weeks ago. In my state, we were locked down based on only 3 cases. Whoa. See, this is the thing. It's you see things and you think, well, that's a bit extreme. But then you see what's happened in some places where it's just absolutely flown through, and suddenly thousands of people have got it, and the hospitals have been overloaded. And I think it's a hard one to call. Yeah, again, it's they look at figures, and I know they did that in Denmark. It was a while back. They looked at the figures for kids catching it, and decided that the, it wasn't really a big deal for kids. They could deal with it, but it's when you think, right, okay, the kids can deal with it, but then they're going home, and then they're maybe going to visit their grandparents at the weekend, and the grandparents can't deal with it. So they they closed the schools here for a bit, not that long, and then they started to open the preschool groups and stuff, and then the sort of primary schools. And now all the schools are open again. And the thing is, you've got to try and balance the economy. If people aren't working, and how are they going to get money? And it's a massive thing. It's not one simple, easy answer. And the thing is, nobody really knows exactly how it's going to turn out. So, yeah, it's a really hard one to call. I mean, when the coronavirus first appeared, I was still using Periscope to do live streams, and as I said, I used to walk around Copenhagen and let people see the city and talk about it and let them see things. And then COVID hit, and Denmark basically just closed. So I didn't go out and do any walks and talks or anything like that. But what I did was I was doing live streams from home, and I was talking about the corona, how it got to. I actually started doing it the first day that we got a case in Denmark, and then I just kept doing them. The thing about Denmark being such a small country is it was really easy to follow what was happening, and we knew the first people that got it came back from a ski resort in Italy, and they got home isolation. And first it was, I think, one case, then it got up to about 10 or 11. But at that point, nobody had transferred it to anybody else. So it was just home isolation. And then somebody caught it from somebody, and it started to really pick up. But I did periscopes. I think I did a periscope every day for something like 35 days, and was talking about the stats and what was happening in Denmark. And this was, I can't even remember when it was. It was before it kicked off in America. And then it just got totally crazy worldwide. So I stopped doing it because everybody was talking about coronavirus then. So I'm just curious about that, Happy Trekker. What happens if you don't send your kids and they send the truant police? Because in the UK, I'm pretty sure the parents can actually go to jail if they keep their kids off school. Obviously, there's going to be, like, they have to have a good reason type thing. Maybe some reasons will be allowed, I don't know. But I think I'm pretty sure that parents at the worst could end up in prison. I would imagine the majority of the time it's going to be some sort of fine and telling you they have to go or something. I don't know. The schools in Victoria are closed. Okay. See, this is weird for me because it's like I'm looking at Denmark. I'm thinking about how Denmark is just now, and reading that schools are closed now. That was over a year ago that happened in Denmark, and it's never happened again. You wanted to homeschool, but they said no. Why? I know that my wife's sister, she homeschooled her kids in America, but I don't know. I take it there's some sort of rules and regulations and stipulations that you have to adhere to. I don't know. I don't know anything about homeschooling. 250 days of hard lockdown. Wow. Yeah, I mean, even in Scotland, they got pretty strict. In fact, very strict compared to here. You weren't allowed anybody else in your home. You were only allowed to go out for what, one hour a day or something for exercise. You could only leave your home if you were going for groceries or going for exercise. They never did that here. Yeah, I'm just reading the comments. As I said, in Denmark, it's like looking back in time when I'm reading the comments that I'm seeing just now. I haven't really been keeping track of it. I mean, it's just pretty much constantly on the news, and you hear a lot of stories. I mean, starting to get a lot now of people who decided not to get the vaccine and then ultimately died, which is really sad. But then you get people saying that it's media hype and the coronavirus isn't a real thing, and you get sort of one end of the spectrum to the other. Just gets a bit much when it's just constant. But I think we're quite lucky in a way because the country is so small. It's been easier to get people to social distance and wash their hands and all that sort of thing when you've got a country that's so small. And as far as the vaccine's concerned, when the vaccine came out, they started with the elderly and people who were at high risk, and then they've just been rolling it down from there. And the vast majority of people in Denmark just get the vaccine as soon as they can. We don't really have people protesting about it. People just doing it. Yeah, that's the funny thing, Carly. Tammy and I didn't really notice that much of a difference when the lockdown was on because we spend all our time in here. The only thing we missed was concerts. We missed a few that won't be coming back, but obviously people's health is more important than anything. But that was the only real inconvenience for us. We couldn't go out to concerts. And then you're reading about all these people with fake corona passes and all this stuff as well. In Denmark, it's electronic. It's on your mobile phone, and it's called Corona Pass. And what you do is you show that. And initially, it was just an app. Well, it is an app, but it was just a screen that came up and basically said that you had your vaccines, and it was green. But they sort of cottoned on to that could be really easy to fake. People could take a screenshot of somebody else's, or people could take a screenshot of theirs and then send it as a picture to somebody else, and then they could use it. So what they've done is they adapted the app so that when it comes up, the time is rolling in real time, so you can see that it's current now. So a bit harder to fake. But they don't have like physical cards because they're too easy to copy. I mean, people can fake passports and driving licenses and stuff. I mean, a Corona Pass would be easy. Yeah, Tammy's just started going back to the office like she used to. She used to work 2 days from home, 3 days in the office, and she just started back like normal. I think it was last week. So she's had a year and a half of working from home, and she really enjoyed working from home. That's a new one to me, the new variant C1.2. Is this a new thing that's turned up? The one that I keep hearing about just now is the Delta. It seems to be the most infectious one. So is there a new variant out? I'm not getting much done with this, am I? So is this a variation on the Delta one, like a new one? C1.2? I haven't even heard of it. Oh, it's even more infectious. Oh, that's That's bad. So where is that? Is that in Australia just now? I hadn't even heard of this one. I mean, this is the problem because it keeps mutating. I mean, you would think it's got to get to a point. I mean, I remember way back at the very beginning, they were saying that um, they knew it was going to mutate, just the way the virus works, and they said it could mutate so that it's actually worse for humans, or it could actually mutate so it becomes like has no harmful effect on humans. So I think they were hoping it was going to go the other way, but obviously that's not what's happening. So it's in parts of Europe. Okay, I need to watch the news more. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine in England just a couple of days ago, and he was saying that things in the UK are getting pretty bad, but Boris is determined to keep things running because of the economy. Um, we'll see how that pans out. Yeah, I'll need to. Thanks for that, Happy Tracker. I'll need to look that up. Get myself educated. I hadn't heard of it. 1.2. I mean, again, I think the thing is, it's the fact that in Denmark, things are nearly back to normal, and we're just getting on with things as normal. And you sort of take it for granted that everywhere is the same. But I knew they were having problems in Australia, which was a surprise because I thought Australia had actually managed to miss it. I know they had it a while back, and then it seemed to die off, and then suddenly it's just sprung up. But I don't know what people use to keep track of what's happening with Corona. I use wait I use this world worldometers.info. Ooh, blinking light. Um, I find that really good just to keep an idea of what's happening. It updates. I think it's at midnight Greenwich Mean Time, UK. I don't know if people have seen this. If this is, I mean, I've been using this since the beginning. This is worldwide. You can see new daily cases, but I've always said this from the very start. The number of people catching it isn't the important part. It's how many people are ending up in hospital. And this is the daily deaths, but this is worldwide again. And then you get countries, all of the countries. You can see how many cases, how many new cases, total deaths, new deaths, total recovered, new recovered, active cases, serious and critical. I mean, looking at that, there's over 25,500 people in America are serious or critical. I got that in. And then it also shows you total cases per million of population, which helps to balance things out. Hi, Chantel. Thanks for dropping in. Deaths per million. So that sort of again balances it out because America has 350 million people, and Denmark has 6 million people. So if you switch it to deaths per million, it gives you a better idea. The countries that have been hit the worst for the size of their population. So number one is actually Peru, then Hungary, then Bosnia Herzegovina, Gibraltar, North Macedonia, Czechia, Montenegro, Bulgaria, Brazil, San Marino, Argentina, Colombia, Slovakia, Paraguay, Belgium, Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, Mexico, Poland, and then USA. So deaths per million, USA are 21st in the world. But if you just set it to total deaths, USA has the most total deaths, but it's a smaller percentage. So you can go into the countries as well. Like if I click on USA, maybe. Here we go. So then we've got, this is just the stats for America. So you can see that over 31 million people have recovered from it. And then it breaks it down into the different states. You can see how many cases there are in California, Texas, Florida, blah. Total deaths. So if I hit that, California is number 1. Then Texas, then New York, Florida, and then quite a big drop down to Pennsylvania. So for people that are interested in stats, it's pretty good. Worldometers.info. Is it number 1, really? Yeah, as I said, in general, Denmark have just basically went with what they've been advised. We haven't had any big sort of protests or anything against the vaccine or against anything they've done. They have changed what they're doing numerous times, but they were doing daily updates for a long time, and they would tell us, okay, we're changing this, we're now going to do this, and the reason is this. So every time it changed, they told us why, and it was because they were getting new data, new information, and so they changed things. So people weren't saying, well, last week you were saying that we didn't have to wear a mask, and now we do, and then the week before that, you said we had to be 1 meter apart. Now we have to be 2 meters apart. We'd never had people complaining about it. It was just like, okay, we can see why you did it, and people just did it. Simple as that. Yeah, that's right, Marlon. The thing is, people think that everybody that recovered is back to 100%, and that isn't the case. Hi, Helen. How's sunny Scotland? Yeah, that seems like a wise move, Carly. Just stay home, don't answer the door. They didn't change things that much here. I mean, I think if there was anything major, there'd be a big announcement on the news. I mean, I think maybe we had like maybe 2 weeks where things were happening really quickly, and then it was minor changes. But now things are definitely opening up again. Yeah, don't answer the door. Close the curtains. Pretend you're not in. That many people coming to my door. Maybe you should change your deodorant, Carly. Or maybe use some. Maybe that's the answer. I've totally lost track of what I'm doing here. Handy hint, if you're trying to finish a diamond painting, do not do a WIP and chat. But if you want to spend a bit of time with people, definitely do a WIP and chat. I enjoy these things where we're just talking about random stuff. So it's either a delivery person or your mom. Which one is the worst? It's your mom bringing soup. That is the problem, Chantel. I have had one live where I thought nobody was going to speak. But when that happens, I just go quiet and then I just concentrate on what I'm doing. And if somebody asks a question or just comments, then take it from there. I know that people come in and just sit because they're just curious, but they don't really want to talk. Other people are maybe listening to it while they're doing something else, which is fine. But I tend to also come on at a really bad time for America. People are usually in bed or at work, and by the time they get home and actually want to sit down in front of the computer, I'm in bed. So the time difference has a lot to do with it. I'll need to look up about that new variant. I hadn't heard about it. Yeah, we've started getting our groceries delivered, which is quite cool. The delivery charge is minimal. So it saves us having to drag stuff up. But the takeaway food industry has absolutely snowballed in Copenhagen. You just constantly see little, well, I call it Wolt. It's spelt WOLT, but the Danes pronounce it Volt. You see little Volt scooters going about all the time, and Just Eat and Hungry.dk. Those companies have definitely flourished because of COVID. Diamond Dots. My next one will be a Diamond Dots. It'll be my first Diamond Dots, and it is massive. So if I ever actually finish this is all I've got left. Like what you can see, this is it. This is all I've got left of an 80 by 75 with 89 colours. Then I'm going to be doing the entrance of Tivoli at Halloween custom that I showed yesterday on my latest video. That's going to be the next one, and that's a 60 by 80, and it has 90 colours. Once that's finished, I'm going to be doing a Diamond Dots Christmas one, and I'm not sure if I've got it in Gems Flow. Yeah, this is the Hoverfly, the last two parts. I'm just going to see if I've realised that I've missed some of the diamond paints. I don't have them in Gems Flow. So and I don't have the diamond dots, I don't think. Nope. It's pretty big though. But it is a parcel, so it shouldn't take as long. I can't multitask, Carly. I can't talk and dot at the same time. I have to do one or the other. If I start talking and dotting, I end up forgetting which symbol I'm working on. And I've actually finished that one. No, I can't do it on top. It's genetically impossible for a guy to multitask. Yeah, but then if I just DP, I miss what people are talking about. Take a 10-second break. 10 seconds, that's so I'll put one drill down in 10 seconds. Okay, I'm on the Y's, which is number 62. 6 and 2, 62. You're just asking me to place drills so you can say Germany missed one. That's definitely something that Marlon would do. Somebody did it when I did the Cheeky Panda. Can't remember who it was. Jim, you missed a B. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, Chantel. That was a while ago I did the unboxing of that. I was actually planning to do that last Christmas, but it ended up getting too close to Christmas. I couldn't get the one that I was working on finished in time to allow me enough time to get that one done. So I decided to hang back and do it for this Christmas. So I'm going to finish this, then I'm going to do the Halloween one, and then I'm going to start the Christmas one. I think I'm actually going to struggle to get that one on the table because I remember it is big. The Christmas one is it's a partial and it has some special drills in. I remember there's a Christmas tree in the picture, and the baubles on the Christmas tree are really large special drills. So it should look pretty cool. Quite looking forward to doing that one. All good, can hear again. Yay. So how's things going with the cover minders, Chantel? For anybody that doesn't know, Chantel has an Etsy store. Dazzle Diamond Dreams. And she does hand-painted cover minders. Why? And this is the one that I bought for me. Little bee. This is glass, so it's heavy and it's hand painted. Massive washer on the bottom and the magnet. Just thought it looked really cool. It looks like a bee on honey, just with the colours. So I got 3 for my wife and 1 for me. Well, hers aren't bees. It's just this is the only bee one. That's mine. So you woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. Marlon. What time will you go to bed tonight? Or do you go for an afternoon nap? Or maybe she's fallen asleep. She's going to wake up in a few hours with an imprint of a keyboard in her face. Or maybe not. I prefer to talk about you when you're here, Marlon. Okay, Grace, thanks for dropping in. It was nice to see you. Have a good sleep. I'll catch you later. So is anybody working on something for Drills and Chills? Nope. Yeah, I haven't. I was going to do it. I will be starting that Halloween one probably in about 3 days. So I suppose I could add it into that. I don't know. It's nowhere near the amount of abuse that you give, Marlon. Okay, I think I've done all the 22s. Sure, I'll find at least one later. Island Life. Yep, nothing unique. So a witch. Which one? What is the picture roughly? When you say witch, there's a Diamond Art Club one of that sort of new one with the witch with the legs. Then there's one with a sort of haunted house in the background, and I think some witches going about on broomsticks. That's the two that I sort of think of. 7. What are you doing, Chantel? You do one at a time. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do 7 time paintings at the same time. I mean, I did take sort of little breaks from this when I was doing the Cheeky Panda. Did you see that, Marlon or Chantel? I got the frame for the Cheeky Panda this morning, so it is now framed. I can't remember who was in when I showed it. 2 witches, black cat. Yeah, no sense of imagination. Could do better. So there's the Cheeky Panda. Special drills. Everybody notices the X, but nobody noticed it has no eyes. I don't really do these really small ones. This was just something a bit different. You just saw the song without farting. Trust you to lower the standard, Chantel. Yeah, I framed it. You didn't do much work went into that. So it's going to sit in the background in future videos. It will be sitting beside the little owl and the fish. I only got the frame this morning, so that's why it's not in the background of the video that I posted yesterday. It's a little panda. Everybody loves little pandas. Well, crazy looking girl, 60 by 80 from Dreamer Designs. Star Oar, that's a new one to me. Hang on a second, I need to get a pen. And a piece of paper, I'll be back in a second. So Star Oar, is that a dedicated company, or is it an AliExpress? It sounds like an AliExpress. Festival of Witches. I don't have any witch diamond paintings. Yeah, it's funny that people never noticed it has no eyes. I don't know what they were looking at. Okay, I've written that down. Star Oar. So is that AliExpress, Marlon? Or is it starlord.com? Oh, Carly has 2 started and 8 kitted up. I should just send. Hang on. I'll start doing this, and the camera's too close to the table to really do it, but I'll try. This is my bag of many colours. So these are the drills for. Can't really make it out, but this is the Tivoli at Halloween. 90 colours in this. I should just stick it in a box and send it to you, Carly, give you something to do. I absolutely hate kitting up. Hate it. Dedicated company. Okay. Yeah, never heard of that one. Yeah, I use, when you say it's on Amazon, that'll be amazon.com. I use amazon.de, which is in Germany, and they have very few diamond paintings. Oh, something else to talk about. Does anybody use smart bulbs? Okay, forgot what I'm doing again. Number 15. Okay. These. Carly. Tisk. Smart bulbs are light bulbs that connect to the, what do you call it? Can't remember what it's called. Alexa, the Alexa thing. And what you can do is you can just be in the room and just say, Alexa, turn on the lights. And it switches lights on. You can say, Alexa, turn the lights to blue. It'll do that. You can ask it to set the lights to 50% and all that stuff. That's just embarrassing, Carly. So I've been setting these up. This is my new toy. Not the Alexa. We've had that for a long time. Use that to listen to music. But I've started setting up the lights. So we have it set in groups. So we can have different lights. Like if I say, Alexa, turn on lights, it will turn on all of the lights that are connected to it. But I can say, turn on floor lamp, and it'll just switch on the floor lamp. And you can even have it that the lights change colour if you have music playing. They pick up the sound of the music and the colours change. But it's really cool. I forget how many colours they have. Like, I forget, 1 million colours or something. So you find yourself trying to think of colours. Alexa, change lights to rouge. Alexa, change lights to aquamarine. And it does it. Amazing stuff. It's very, very easy, Carly. I was kind of apprehensive myself. All you do is you screw the bulb in to the fitting, you switch the power on, and the bulb will just flash on and off. And then you've got an app on your phone, and it'll say device detected, comes up with a code number, and you just tap OK, and then you can name it. Like I've got one that I call table lamp, and then I've got floor lamp. That's got 2 bulbs in it though. So I've got floor lamp 1, floor lamp 2. So we can actually have, it's one of these tall lamps. So you can have 2 different colours on in the lamp at the same time at various brightnesses, whatever. And then we've got a taller one that's got 3 lamps in it. So you can have them at 3 different colours or all the same or whatever you want. No, this is not good for DPing. But they're really cool. There's a lot of other stuff you can get. You can get things like door locks, and you can also set timers. So the lights will come on and off at set times, preset times. So when you go on vacation, you can preset your lights. You have an app on your phone, so you can control it from the app. Or if you've got an Alexa, you can just use voice. This is the slowest DPing in history. Well, it doesn't actually say in the title that I am diamond painting. It's just work in progress. WIP and chat. So this is the work in progress, and I am chatting. I'm still thinking about that. Eight diamond paintings prepped. I've just got all of my drills for the diamond paintings are in freezer bags. And I've got 2 cupboards and 2 drawers stuffed with bags of drills. I mean, the thing is, the purpose for me to come on here isn't to diamond paint, really. I can do that. I can do that without having the camera on. The purpose for me is just to get to know people around the world who diamond paint. And I've now found out there's a new variant of the coronavirus that I didn't even know about. So I'm going to look that up. And I found out that Marilyn has lived in various places in the States, and she's went back to Florida, where the crazy people live. Somebody said. I think it was Chantel. This won't, like, when I sit down to seriously work on this will not take very long to finish this part. So I'll get this, I don't know, half done today, finish it tomorrow, and then start prepping up my 90 colours. I think I'm going to do a YouTube video about that one, because I already did one yesterday about how I prep double-sided adhesive canvases, and I used the Tivoli at Halloween as the example. So I've showed how I cut the air bubbles and how I put down the release paper. So I think I'll do one about how I prep them, the drills. Oh, emailed it. Emailed it. Oh, I haven't seen that one before. That's pretty cool. So this is one of Marilyn's witches. With her pink pumpkin bag. That's quite cool. I like that. A lot of bright colour in it. How long will that take you, Marilyn? She's falling asleep again. So this is confetti at its best. I had one drill of that colour. And I'm just double checking. Nope, that was it. One drill of that colour in that area. Lots of colours, is there? Pink, green, black, purple. Oh yeah, I don't know how that's going to turn out actually. Just noticed that. You see the camera. The hat being black, well, near enough black, and the background being dark purple. I wonder how that's going to come out in drills. You can send me a picture. What's it doing? Yeah, it's done. I did a custom 80 by 100, and it looks as if it's only got about 3 colours in it. Black, white and green. It's actually got 47 colours. So many shades of green. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I looked at it, Marlon. I don't know. It's hard to tell until you actually see the colour of the purple in the background. I mean, I'm sure it's still going to look really cool though. But I'm just thinking, black hat with a dark purple background wasn't the best choice to really show it. But you never know. It might look better than I think. Normally when I'm doing this, I'm sitting with wireless headphones on and just listening to music. Um, does anybody listen to music much? Like, is anybody interested in music? Okay, Carly, I found something the other day. Oh, you watch YouTube and Twitch, and I don't watch Twitch. I found an app that you might be interested in, Carly, or anybody who likes to listen to music. I don't know if you'll have it, but it's called Radio Garden, and I just need to make sure that I don't play any music because I don't want to get in trouble. It's called Radio Garden, and I'll go back out, I think. This is the icon. Is that focusing? Nearly. When you click on it, it pops up with world map, and all of these green dots are radio stations. So you can zoom out, you can zoom in, and then all you have to do is go to a dot. This is Edinburgh. Station unreachable. Well, I don't want to play anything, so I'm on silent. But all of these green dots are radio stations, and that's just Scotland, so England, Denmark. See Copenhagen. This is Copenhagen here. So that's AMA Radio. Now we can go to the States and listen to all that country music. So you can see a lot of stations. So you can just go and listen to some. You can hit the hat to favourite them. And then I was listening to, what was it called? Shetland Internet Radio. Shetland Islands in Scotland. Middle of nowhere. And they actually had a really good channel. In fact, they had no adverts. It was just maybe every 15 minutes, maybe it would say you're listening to Shetland International Radio or Internet Radio, whatever it's called. But there were no commercials at all. It was just music. There was no DJ. It was really good. So I favourited that one. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. All you do is just zoom about and click on dots. In fact, you don't even need to click on them. If you zoom in on them, it automatically picks up the station. And if you pick a city, if you pick up the city like Edinburgh, it has a menu saying "See Stations," and you click on that, and then you'll get all the stations in Edinburgh or Copenhagen or wherever, and it's free. So just thought I would mention it. Just looking at the time, I think it's lunchtime. So the classic, I'll just finish this colour and then I'm going to go and have some lunch. And I think I actually have, nope, one. Yep, that was it. So I'm going to head off and have some lunch. It is, what time is it? 12:24 p.m. Lunchtime. So, as always, thanks to everybody that dropped in and joined in the conversation. That was quite interesting today, talking about COVID. Normally, I don't really steer it that direction, but we didn't have anybody jumping up and down, protesting about anything, so that was nice. So, yeah, you too, happy trekker in Australia. Thanks for dropping in. And I'm going to head off and have something to eat. So, in the meantime, take care, be safe, and wash your hands.